believe it? Yes, I'm still wearing the same clothes as week 7. So what? Welcome back. So happy you guys have made it. Woo! Let's jump into this fish cheeks. Okay, so of course, as always, the usual, we read the background information. By the way, this story today is by Amy Tan, okay, published in 1987. So, let's go and jump into sex. Amy Tan is an American writer whose work often provides insight into the experiences of Chinese Americans and family relationships. While her parents immigrated from China, Tan herself was born in Oakland, California. So the skill focus today is, in this lesson, you'll practice analyzing how an author develops a narrator's point of view. Okay, this means determining what the narrator thinks or believes and examining how the author uses actions, dialogue, and thoughts to develop this point of view. As you read, take notes on the narrator's point of view of her culture. Excuse me. Okay? Ooh, that looks good. My mouth is over here watering, y'all. I'm hungry. Okay, so let's go and jump into this. I fell in love with the minister's son the winter I turned 14. He was not Chinese, but as white as Mary in the manger. For Christmas, I prayed for this blonde hair boy, Robert, and a slim new American nose. Ooh, sis. When I found out that my parents had invited the minister's family over for Christmas Eve dinner, I cried. What would Robert think of our shabby Chinese Christmas? What would he think of our nosy Chinese relatives who lacked proper American manners? What terrible disappointment would he feel upon seeing not a roasted turkey and sweet potatoes, but Chinese food? Let me back this up a little bit. On Christmas Eve, I saw that my mother had outdone herself in creating a strange menu. She was pulling black veins out of the backs of fleshy prawns. The kitchen was littered with appalling mounds of raw food, a slimy rock cod with bulging eyes that pleaded not to be thrown into a pan of hot oil. Tofu, which looked like stacked wedges of rubbery white sponges. A bowl soaking dried fungus back to life. A plate of squid, their backs crisscrossed with knife markings so they resembled bike tires. And then they arrived. The minister's family and all my relatives in a clamor of doorbells and rumpled Christmas packages. Robert grunted, hello, and I pretended he was not worthy of existence. Ladies, y'all not gonna do that! Like, somebody you guys up there like, hey, what's going on? You like, bro, don't even, right? And it's like, crazy. Because some of y'all be doing the same thing. Okay. Dinner threw me deeper into despair. My relatives licked the ends of their chopsticks and reached across the table, dipping them into the dozen or so plates of food. Robert and his family waited patiently for platters to be passed to them. My relatives murmured with pleasure when Mother brought out the whole steamed fish. Robert grimaced. Then my father poked his chopsticks just below the fisheye and plucked out that soft meat. Amy, your favorite, he said, offering me the tender fish cheek. I wanted to disappear. Okay. So, let's look at these references here. For number 1, Mary in the manger. Okay, it's referencing a reference to Jesus' mother. Okay, often depicted as white in Europe and North America. All right, and then prawns. Okay, it's just a common name for shrimp, used particularly in the United Kingdom and Ireland. Okay, and then the word appalling for number 3 footnote. Okay, appalling, where we saw it up here. It's an adjective, okay? And all it means is causing shock, disgust, or alarm, right? You could say, I found it so appalling that you just came in here so loud, right? Very shocking, like disgust or alarm, like what's going on, right? Okay. Just want to continue with this stuff, baby. What y'all say? Okay. At the the meal, my father leaned back and belched loudly, thanking my mother for her fine cooking. It's a polite Chinese custom to show you are satisfied, explained my father to our astonished guest. Robert was looking down at his plate with a reddened face. The minister managed to muster up a quiet burp. I was stunned into silence for the rest of the night. After everyone had gone, my mother said to me, "You want to be the same as American girls on the outside." She handed me an early gift. It was a mini skirt in beige tweed. But inside, you must always be Chinese. You must be proud you are different. Your only shame is to have shame. And even though I didn't agree with her then, I knew that she understood how much I suffered during the evening's dinner. It wasn't until many years later, long after I had gotten over my crush on Robert, that I was able to fully appreciate her lesson and the true purpose behind our particular menu. For Christmas Eve that year, she had chosen all of my favorite foods. Oh, y'all, I love that. Yes, girl. Robert is not the one. At all. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into these questions real quick. Please. Also, feel free to pause the video at any time to make sure you record your answers down. You can send them through Remind. You already know what the beat is. Remind, text us, DM us, email us. Any which way you're able to get your answers to us, we are grateful. Here we go. So number one, what does the menu description in paragraph 3 reveal? Right? What does it mean to reveal yourself? Okay. What does the menu description in paragraph 3 reveal about how the narrator views her family's cultural traditions? Okay. Thompson, stop. A, she views them as humorous. B, she views them as disgusting. C, she views them as honorable. D, she views them as annoying. Okay, so go ahead and choose your answer, A, B, C, or D. Also, feel free to pause the video at this time. All right. How does the narrator's embarrassed attitude towards her... Oh, excuse me, y'all. My apologies. Let's go back up to paragraph 3 for that number 1. I am so sorry. 1, 2. This is paragraph 3 here. So feel free to look for your answer there. Pause the video. Okay. Number 2, how does the narrator's embarrassed attitude towards her culture affect the way she describes events in the passage, right? If something specifically happened to you, what would your point of view be on it, right? Everybody has a different point of view on how they see things, right? So imagine looking at a piece of artwork, okay? And you're like, oh, I thought the art was showing me this, right? I thought the artwork looked like a dog. And somebody next to you says, really? I thought the artwork looked like a pigeon, right? So, like, how does her culture, how does what she's gone through, okay, with her family affect the way she describes events in the passage? Okay, how does it affect the way she tells her story? So, A, she describes the food as foreign and unappealing. B, she focuses on her desire to be more American. Okay. C, she focuses on her crush's reaction to her family. Or D, she criticizes every little detail of her mother's cooking. Okay. Feel free to pause the video now to make sure you get your answer down before we're going to move on to question 3. Okay. As always, you don't have textual evidence for me. You don't have anything for me. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Number 3, what piece of evidence best reveals the narrator's feelings about her family's behavior during dinner? A, and then they arrived, the minister's family and all my relatives in a clamor of doorbells and rumpled Christmas packages, from paragraph 4. B, Robert and his family waited patiently for platters to be passed to them, from paragraph 5. C, I was stunned into silence for the rest of the night, from paragraph 6? Or D? And even though I didn't agree with her then, I knew that she understood how much I had suffered during that evening's dinner, from paragraph 8. Okay, feel free to pause the video here. Okay. Number 4. Which word best describes the tone of paragraph 5? Okay, remember, when we're going over tone, I used to say in class, it's not necessarily, tone is like the vibe, right? So if you walk to class and you're like kind of upset, something may have happened in your class before, or something happened at home, or you and your homegirl just got into it, you and your homeboy just got into it, right? So what is the tone? What is the vibe there now? Okay, so within this text, what is the vibe here of paragraph 5? Only paragraph 5. What's the vibe of paragraph 5? Oh, it's kind of slick. Okay, so A, miserable. B, cheerful. C, shocked. Or D, proud. Okay, you can pause the video now before we scroll back up to paragraph 5. Okay, 4 is stop. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so paragraph 5 says, dinner threw me deeper into despair. It starts here, okay, and ends here. Feel free to pause the video at this time to read before we move on to the next question. Okay. Okay. Number 5 asks, what does Amy's mother mean when she says, your only shame is to have shame? Okay. A, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed of her family's traditions. B, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed of her love for American food. C, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed about having a crush on Robert. Or D, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed about fitting in with her classmates. Okay, feel free to pause the video at this time if you need it. Alrighty, y'all, that is it. Please keep us updated on if you need help with any of the assignments. We are more than happy to help. We miss you guys and love you guys so much. Please let us know if there's anything we can do for y'all. We love you guys. Take care.